AOC says so many people in this country hate women. Oh, geez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun. You don't really love America if you hate half the people in it. And also if you hate a lot of the things that everybody always loved about it. There's an oft-repeated moment in political debates where the moderator says to the two candidates, say something nice about your...
AOC says, so many people in this country hate women. Oh, geez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun. You don't really love America if you hate half the people in it. And also if you hate a lot of the things that everybody always loved about it. There's an oft-repeated moment in political debates where the moderator says to the two candidates, say something nice about your opponent. Ever since AOC was anointed the Democrats' shining hope for 2028, Bill Maher's been sounding the sirens louder than ever. He did the same back in 2024, warning the DNC when they bet it all on KLA Harris. Ignored then, and we all watched that disaster unravel. Now Maher's returned, flames blazing, calling out the cracks in their latest chosen one. He's practically pleading with the left not to blow another shot. So, if you're craving uncut, explosive political drama, hit that subscribe button and let's spark this fire. What do you think of the fact that the people who are getting the big crowds right now are AOC and Bernie Sanders? They're going around the country. Thank you. There's that same guy. I call him the always wrong guy. Okay. But I feel like, big crowds. Again, the shiny object that the Democrats chase, all it's not about the big crowds that come out to you when you're talking in a festival or wherever they are. I think it's because I think Bernie showed up at Coachella. That must have been fun for the fans. It's who shows up on election day, and I just don't see that's the ticket. I mean, Cy Booker, I know you've worked with him. I like Cory a lot from my home state of New Jersey. Made a speech for 25 hours. Again, just whacking each other off. This is just not what's going to get the job done. Just days after AOC's name started gaining traction as KLA Harris's potential replacement, things went off the rails fast. Rather than stepping up, AOC's been setting fire to her own credibility with every puzzling media moment. From wild economic claims to confusing policy tirades, she sparked more doubts than faith. And if this is who the Democrats are banking on for 2028, they may need to hit the reset button quick, because the more she talks, the more voters are asking themselves, is this seriously the best they can offer? Employment is low because everyone has 2 jobs. Unemployment is low because people are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week and can barely feed their kids. Everybody's an idiot except for me. Capitalism has not always existed in the world, and it will not always exist in the world when it is the system that, unlike all the others, has lifted more people out of poverty over the course of human history than any other system. Well, so I think that those things that you talk about, that you discuss, are part of the course of human evolution. And this is exactly why voices like Bill Maher keep hitting the panic button on AOC. Strip away the fiery rants, the dramatic outrage, and the non-stop social media theater. And there's not much left. She confuses noise for impact and treats aggression like it's leadership. There's no depth, no direction, just a never-ending show designed for likes, not legacy. Maher's not guessing. He's reading the signs loud and clear. If the Democrats stake their 2028 future on AOC, they're not just playing with fire. They're courting a political meltdown. This is a serious problem for Democrats. Less than 1 in 4 Democrats under 30 say they're proud to be an American. 54% say they're embarrassed by it. Embarrassed. Like America is your mom picking you up at school. You're embarrassed to be an American. Well, guess what? The feeling's mutual because you have no perspective. Is America perfect? No, of course not. No country is. Already, Democrats are bleeding support and fast as more of their base grows tired of the party's fixation on woke politics. Biden didn't exactly ride into retirement with grace. His term ended in a fog of confusion, burnout, and unkempt promises. KLA Harris only added fuel to the fire with rambling speeches and muddled messaging, pushing people away instead of drawing them in. AOC, she's doubling down on the same ideological bubble that's driving middle America out the door. And if you're banking on Gavin Newsom or Tim Walz to save the day, good luck. Their records are packed with scandals, virtue signaling, and tone-deaf policies that alienate more voters than they attract. Even die-hard Democrats are beginning to drift towards centrists, independents, or just opting out entirely. The real issue isn't just who's at the helm. It's an ideology divorced from economic reality, public safety, and basic common sense. You don't really love America if you hate half the people in it. And also if you hate a lot of the things that everybody always loved about it. There's an oft-repeated moment in political debates where the moderator says to the two candidates, "Say something nice about your opponent." We'll get to where Bill Maher is heading in just a second, but first let's unpack what he's shining a light on. A deep, almost compulsive contempt from AOC and the progressive wing of the Democratic Party for America and its core values. Ma doesn't pull punches. He slams their performative outrage, fixation on identity politics, and habit of equating patriotism with prejudice. To this crowd, anything linked to Trump is instantly villainous. Even policies that clearly help the nation. Tax breaks for working families must be racist. Border enforcement obviously xenophobic. Energy independence, that's just climate denial. It doesn't matter how practical or beneficial an idea is. If Trump touched it, they treat it like a toxic bomb. And Maher, never one to hold back, labels it for what it is, ideological self-sabotage. The Democrats aren't just resisting Trump. They're rejecting reality. And in doing so, they're pushing away everyday Americans who still believe in this country. For all the talk about fighting for the soul of America, nobody seems to like it very much. Too many liberals give the impression that to them, America is just a big the red, white, and EW. A country that started out bad and will always be bad. Founded on an unrelenting history of sucking and unable to change. But we have changed a lot. Democrat Cy Bush tweeted, "This land is stolen land and black people still aren't free." And this was on the 4th of July. Really? Not that I give a about the 4th of July. I've never been a RAR guy, but I am a perspective guy. And that's what too much of the left has lost, perspective. Sometimes I hop on Twitter, take one glance at the feed, and instantly log off because the sheer level of anti-American rage is off the charts. It's like an online bonfire of bitterness led by young liberals who seem to hate the very country that gave them the freedom to rant in the first place. You see them tearing into America, its history, its values, its flag, painting it as some unforgivable monster instead of the place that handed them opportunity, free speech, and a quality of life most of the world only dreams of. I've traveled. I've seen a few countries outside the US. And believe me, most don't even come close. Not in freedom, not in opportunity, and definitely not in prosperity. And yet, these keyboard crusaders think it's bold or heroic to bash their own country. It's not. It's clueless, spoiled, and honestly, just plain embarrassing. 72% of black people under 30 are optimistic about their future in America, way more than white people the same age. And as far as the land goes, yes, I guess we could change the name of Captain America to Captain Stolen Land. But honestly, to all the people who start every public event now with one of those land acknowledgements where they say, "I'm standing on land that was stolen from the proud indigenous people of the Chumash tribe," I say, either give it back or shut up. Then there's the performative activism and blatant pandering from people like AOC. Everything she does feels like a rehearsed stage show, not to lead, but to earn claps and votes. She's built this image of a scrappy working-class hero, but the facts paint a totally different picture. Turns out her real name is Sandy Ocasio, not exactly the revolutionary brand she pushes. And she grew up in a well-off suburban neighborhood, not the rough Bronx background she loves to sell on the campaign trail. And that bartending tale, let's be real, millions of students juggle service jobs while in school. That's not some dramatic rise from poverty. It's just the standard grind. Yet AOC wraps it up like she clawed her way out of the gutter when she's really been play-acting the role of one of us while living the life of someone far removed. It's not authenticity, it's PR, and people are finally catching on. AOC says so many people in this country hate women. Oh geez, even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun. Compare the freedoms women have in America to much of the world, and the gap is jaw-dropping. Here, women can vote, own property, chase any career path, wear what they want, drive where they please, and walk freely without being treated like second-class citizens. They can run companies, hold public office, speak their minds, and build lives on their own terms. No permission needed. That kind of independence is a dream in many countries where women are still muzzled, confined, or outright oppressed by culture and law. Yet somehow, AOC and others want us to believe America despises women because it won't bow to every demand of radical woke doctrine. Disagreeing with extreme gender politics isn't hate. Pushing back against ideological overreach isn't oppression. The irony is off the charts. They cry about systemic misogyny in a country that gives women more rights, more safety, and more opportunity than almost anywhere else on the planet.